know that the feeling of disrespect at work is one of the key reasons that a lot of people decide to throw the towel and just leave their job? Disrespect actually take a toll on one's mental health. It actually impacts relationship and it creates a toxic cloud at workplace. Should this attitude be ignored? This is today's live on Equa Television International, and we are so glad that you could join us on today's edition. Today, we're talking about work. We're talking about the workplace. We're talking about your business. We're talking about how you handle your relationship with your employer or employees. When disrespect shows up, how do you handle it? Do you decide to just ignore it, or you just, I'm going to deal with this once and for all? Join the conversation. You can also drop your comment on our official Facebook page and YouTube at Equa Television International. What do you think about this whole topic, handling disrespect at workplace? Should we ignore it, or we should just face it, deal with it, or we should just throw the towel, just leave the job? What's your take on this topic? Engineer Tony J. Nakade is seated. Jamima Emmanuel. I almost said Jamima Sambu.
You know, you said it last time.
Really?
But you once said that.
Jamima Emmanuel, Emmanuel. Seated here. Sambu Solomon Sabe, SSS. And
Sacred songs are solo.
my name is Joyce Jakada. Let's talk about handling disrespect at work. You often say people,
Who is you?
Engineer Tony J. Nakale will always say, you should take your work very serious. This is where you get to feed. This is where you get to pay your bills at the end of the day. Even if it doesn't cover everything, but your job is something you should take serious. And over time, we've seen that in the society, how that people accord you a lot of respect because of how serious you are with your job or how serious you are about work. And then people again can just rubbish and disrespect and not regard you because you do not have a work, you do not have business, you're not into anything. When there are conversations on the table, nobody gives you opportunity to even contribute because they are like, what does this one have to say? So if we are to take our job seriously, if we are to take our work seriously, if we are to take our business very serious, and of course you're not an island, you don't work alone, there are people that you have to work with. When disrespect shows up, how should one handle that?
Well, there are two ways to that.
As the person disrespected, or as the person disrespected.
Whichever
Which one?
way. Because now if you are the disrespecter,
We are talking about you. You know how to deal with
Yeah.
someone disrespect you. So it has nothing to do with somebody that is giving. But your
I don't
reaction.
understand. Samu Solomon is sounding like he's the giver of the disrespect.
He's dodging some.
Oh, okay.
One, is to ignore. There are some that they are very, very unnecessary. They are just attention seeker. Yes, but there are some that is deliberate, that you need to address it headlong. And by
Headlong.
yeah,
Collusion, Kena.
Farah.
because if you are talking work, there's a principle that is guiding that place. So if a disrespect shows up and then it's officially, I think it's good to deal with it officially. But if it's not officially, I don't think there's a need. So these are some of the things that you ignore. But and you see, in handling disrespect, you have to be careful. Yes, because in some cases you find that some of the disrespect that is being thrown at your face, you created. So sometimes you find that it's difficult for you to even react on it, because at the end of the day, it's still coming back to you. So I feel if it's at work, deal with it officially. If it's official.
Okay, when if it's unofficial, you should just let it.
It's out of it.
I feel for a start,
You have other bullet points that you are reserving for.
for a start,
You
should be calm.
Okay.
When someone disrespects you, you don't just jump on and pick a fight that you have not observed, you have not known where it is coming from and where it is heading to. So for a start, I feel you should be calm. Observe, okay, why is this person disrespecting me? Probably he's saying words that are not nice, he's speaking in a loud tone, inappropriate manner, and all of that. Probably he's even being sarcastic over one thing or the other. For me, the first thing is to be calm. And then if you need to ask a question, be polite about it. The fact that that person is speaking in a negative way does not mean you should also speak in a negative way. Try to understand why that person is doing that. Try to be positive, maintain a positive attitude towards that person. A lot of times people disrespect you because they are trying to make you angry and fight back. And the moment two people fight in a workplace, there is a problem. So you that is being disrespected, you should be calm, you should be polite, you should try to ask, okay, why? That's probably if the person has been doing that over and over again. At a point, you have to ask, hey, I noticed you're doing that. Have I done something wrong that I'm not aware of? Is it? Try to ask in a polite way. And if it gets to a point that it becomes unbearable, I think you should take it to the authorities of that workplace.
Okay. I once said in a meeting that I have zero tolerance for disrespect. A lot of people laughed about it, and some decide to even name me that. But then, what is disrespect? In the true sense of the word is when you have disregard for someone. That's disrespect. And there are a lot of factors that contribute to that. Sambo Sloman was talking about how that some of the factors that contribute to you being disrespected, you are the cause of it.
Exactly.
So, and in other cases, the person that is being disrespectful, like it is just part of him or her. Because there are people that from their upbringing and the society they come from, like they are just disrespectful. They come from a place that they are being tolerated. That attitude is being tolerated. So they feel that anywhere they go, they can just be that person. So you see, when I said that disrespect is not something you should tolerate, like personally, it's not something I should tolerate. I have a role to play to make that not happen. Now, and disrespect is not just a one-way thing. People will tell you respect is reciprocal. People will tell you, oh, you earn respect and all of that. It's not just about a subordinate disregarding his superior. It's also about your superior disregarding the subordinate. So, there are
a subordinate disregarding a fellow subordinate.
a fellow or your colleague. All these attitudes can be considered disrespect. When you disregard someone, when you like just go against courtesy, is disrespect. Some people do this without even knowing, and that was why I said for some people is their upbringing, is the environment they come from. But however you want to define disrespect, it is not something that should be tolerated or be given a chance. Earlier on, I was talking about how it takes a toll on one's mental health. A lot of people quit their job not because they are not good at what they are doing, not because they don't love their job, but because they cannot stand disrespect. Imagine working in an environment and then you're not respected, you're not regarded, your effort is not appreciated, or people take credit for what you do. It affects you mentally. And when it affects you mentally, it will also affect productivity at workplace. There are people that just decide to just jump out of the boat. Why? I can't stand this. Over time, they will tell you, oh, things have been done this way. It's not right as far as they are concerned. They consider that being disrespectful. When you work in an environment that there's no transparency, there's no communication, like accurate communication, when people disregard process, disregard policies, disregard laws, disregard what is expected of them, then the whole environment become toxic.
True.
And you know, one thing about disrespect, why I said it's not something that it should be tolerated, is poisonous. When you allow it thrive, then sooner or later another person would see, oh, this person did it, nothing happened, I also have the right. So imagine how chaotic the environment will be. So I can just look at Sambo Solomon and then say whatever I want to say and go away with it. I know nothing will happen. The next person will also do the same thing because nothing will happen. He saw how that this person did it and it was tolerated. So why wouldn't I do it?
People
And
keep
that
getting away with it.
yes. So imagine at the end of the day, it affects the work environment. Like the whole work environment becomes toxic. And where is the place of productivity? Because it's either people are exchanging blows or people are trying to address this issue or that issue. So it's not something that should be allowed. There are places that, there are moments, like Sam Solomon says, sometimes you just call the person. Like, are you normal? Are you okay? This thing that you did, you had an instruction to do this, but you disregarded it. Why? So there are times that you consider it as being disrespectful, but for the person, maybe it was just an oversight. There are times that you say, oh, do this, and the person just forgets or something happened, he got overwhelmed. And why I consider it a disrespect, this person, when you call the person attention and he apologizes and say, I'm sorry, it wasn't intentional. You have corrected that. Next time, the person will be careful in doing whatever he has to do. But by the time this thing is tolerated, the whole environment becomes toxic. Work is being affected. People decide to just quit their job, and generally it just affects the whole environment. So I just feel that while disrespect says a lot about the person that is being disrespectful, it should also be addressed. It should not be tolerated.
I also feel familiarity helps. It brings up the disrespect. Probably you have been working in a particular place for a while. You feel okay, you know this person, you know everything, you know how everything goes around. So if you do this, you get away with it. When you do that, highest they'll just give you query or one thing or the other, and you're off. So even when a new person joins in and is trying to give in his message, when you get tired, you will stop it. Nothing will happen. Because you think you're used to that place, you're used to the rules, the regulation, and everything, and then you know everybody's level of effort put in and everything. You feel okay, well, I can do this thing and I am good to go. Moreover, if they sack me, they can't get anybody as good as me. So a lot of times familiarity brings about disrespect. We feel we're used to that environment, we're used to the people that are working there, and we try to bring down the morale of those that are trying to put effort.
I understand the topic based on my level of knowledge. When you say handling stuff, it means a lot of things. One of it is how you take it. The second one is how you react to it. Another way is how you stop it. Another way is how you allow it continue, because they are all handling. But the basic point is, I have a point that should come in a question. Should there be a reason why someone would disrespect? Whether the reason is good or bad. Is there a reason why somebody should disrespect?
Well, people man generally will always navigate through his action, because he will always give you a reason why he did something. He started with Adam.
That's what I'm saying.
With Adam.
Is there a reason why somebody should disrespect? Because if we say some people are naturally disrespectful, like from childhood, like you see them even without efforts of parents, that negative effort of making you being a disrespectful person. But you see some people growing up to have it naturally. It's the parents' hers to like tame it, and make sure it doesn't get out of hand, because people handle things differently. Some people will keep slapping your child all his life, as long as they keep seeing that child, and as long as that child shows up disrespecting, they will handle that child, appropriately, like the Africans that we are. But what I'm trying for us to understand is today's life is about teaching. It's about helping people to understand like the basic rudiments of things. Should people be disrespectful? I know someone is watching, is saying, can you stop? No, you can't stop it. It's embedded in some people. But what I'm saying is, like Solo made a point, I I think it was his first point. He said some people put themselves in the position to be disrespected. Some people, which is very, very true. And 70% of the reason why people are disrespected or why disrespect shows up is because people allow for it to happen. Right? You are a boss at work and then you are behaving like the people you are bossing. They will disrespect you. You understand?
Yes.
Even if you have a boss on top of you, there is a way you can behave that other people can respect you and not disrespect you, even though you are not the boss. That's why in some organizations, people respect unit heads more than they respect their directors. You get the point. But I'm saying is, having established that point strongly, should people still disrespect those that are in front of them, regardless of how they behave?
The answer is no.
You see, and I think, it's bad. That's true. We can't say sin because not everybody is in church. But let's just talk about it as being bad, like Jamima rightly said. I think that we should let people know that even if you are giving reasons to be disrespectful and you do it, the person has done wrong, you have done wrong. As a matter of fact, the person might not really do wrong for giving you reasons. The person can just be who he is that you don't like, and then you disrespect the person. So what has the person done? The person is just being himself or herself. There are people that are disrespected because they dress well to work, and people don't have a choice but to hate. And that hate will give rise to disrespect. It's common amongst ladies. You know, like I watched a comedy very long ago. It's an American comedy. A lady was asked, if you were president, what would you do? And then someone said, with her attitude, she'll start fighting people, bombing countries and all of that. And she said no. That she'll just look at the way they dress, make fun of it, and laugh. You see, that's a woman's sense of humor. You know, women are peculiar to issues of women are peculiar to fashion, dressing, and all of that. And when Joy starts dressing more than Jemima, and Jemima is a fashionista more than Joyce, but Jemima does not have as much money as Joyce, so she cannot be able to keep up. Something will come in between you. Something will come in between you, and before you know it, if you like, be the president of the organization, Jemima will disrespect you even if she's a cleaner. Why? Because what she likes personally, what you like personally, they are at loggerheads without you even knowing. So disrespect is very wide. It's very wide. Have you seen people that are in politics? As a leader, naturally, there is a common man that cannot afford 20,000 in his life, but he can afford 500 naira data just to insult his governor or his president or his member house of rep or something. He just has the means to do it, and then he goes ahead. But you see, in reality, these people, in terms of level, they are far apart as night and day. Even more than night. If there's something further than that, that is what they are. This guy has immunity, he has security, he has health insurances, he has almost everything he wants. You don't have jack, except a smartphone and 500 megabits of data. That after the insult, the data is gone. You don't even have time to see his response. The person you are insulting, you don't have data to see his response. See, disrespect is everywhere. When you are talking about disrespect at work, that one is serious. Insubordination. Almost, you can almost call it insubordination. But you see, with Solo's point, there is a way you can take yourself. You can be far from being found for any insubordination. But then, Joyce, believe me, if you like, be the holiest leader. There are people that will disrespect you for being holiest. And they will disrespect you wholeheartedly. There are people that just looking at you without saying a word, they are pissed off. and they can't fight you physically because the laws of the environment will catch up with them.
Yeah.
So what they try to do is to disrespect you openly and otherwise. Do you not know that there are people who just meet after work just so that they can insult the living daylight out of you? It has happened
That,
to
that
me.
one is after work,
Yes.
so there's nothing you can do.
But they took it from work.
Yes.
They just did paperwork elsewhere. But somebody met me one time. That's like, I think, 2021. 2020, 2021. And she said, "Sir, something has been happening and I'm tired." I said, "What?" She said, "We talk about you every day. But you have not changed." She said, "I'm tired, sir. I'm tired." And it's like, it has become like a cult. If I don't go, I feel bad. She said, "Sir, I am sorry. All the things that I personally said about you, I formed them." She said, "Why? Because people have been talking about you. So I felt
She's
left
quiet.
out." She was feeling left out, so she joined. But she said, "Honestly, from my heart, sir, I'm sorry." Because she kept asking, "Can I see?" I said, "When I come to work, you don't come to my office." So she said she doesn't want to see me at work. So I was driving and I stopped somewhere and I met her. And she said, "This is what we have been saying. This is what we have been saying." In fact, somebody said that, one of them said that when she sees you, she feels like dying. So I said, what was her reason for wanting to die? Nothing. So when you are paying attention to what people are doing to you that you don't like, you are paying attention to nothing. Because in real sense, these people don't even have a tangible reason for not liking you. If not for work. So now why will you sit close to somebody's wife like this? After work, will you sit like this? No. If not for show, why would I be dealing with Joyce every day that I don't like? Aho. It's just work. And people should be professional enough to know.
Yeah.
Okay, look at it now. Nigeria played yesterday, right?
Yes.
I heard that, Nigeria played yesterday. So,
We
My-
lost
I'm
painfully.
okay.
Yes.
You should have been pained the day I told you, not today.
Honestly, I thought of it.
That's when you should have prepared yourself. You know, when Jesus was in the boat and it was racking and reeling, somebody came and tapped him and said, "Carried ye not, master, that we perish?" That was what happened to me yesterday. I came back from a journey around 9. We were watching football. I'm sure my family was like, this man is sleeping while something serious is happening to this nation. It was this morning that I woke up to see the results. I didn't know what happened. So you see, it's like sitting down and not bothered that something is happening. That is the best way to deal with disrespect. As a matter of fact, most of the time that you'll be disrespected is out of hatred. It's not about you. Moreover, even if it's about you, who is perfect? So why would you sit down and be worried that they have done this to me, they have done that to me? I will resign and quit.
You see, I said something earlier on about how that disrespect should not be tolerated. There are different ways to handle disrespect. Now, creating boundaries is one of the way. So I don't have to even bother because I know it exists. It's inevitable in life generally, disrespect. Like Engineer Tony directly explained, there are people that will disrespect you just because you're on the right path. That's just the only reason why they have to disrespect you, because you're not in their clique. So it's enough reason for them to disrespect you. But for some people, like, they cannot handle it to the point that when they hear or when the disrespect is meted at them, it affects them mentally. Like, they just feel the best thing for me to do is just to quit. In fact, quit on life generally, because they can't stand the omen of disrespect. Now, what I would like to say is this. You need to understand that you are not all created the same way. Secondly, you are not all brought up the same, like under the same guide. people grow up in different environments, and their understanding about life generally and people is different. Like, it is only understanding and your awareness of life generally that will make you know that this other person that you're seeing, you're not better than that person. And if I know that I'm not better than this person, but embedded in this person is greatness, embedded in this person is something that I do not have as well. If I also understand the rules of life, that tables can also turn, I wouldn't have any reason to disrespect people. So while we are not unaware of the fact that some people, the disrespect they get, they gave way for it. You that you disrespect them, it's not enough reason. It was last week that Engineer Tony gave an instance of a boss that tried to harass his employee, and is that she threatened, blackmail, or slapped him and all of that. Ordinarily, maybe she wouldn't do that, but he attempted something that was wrong, and she decided to.
Point of correction, that was self-defense. He was not he was a disrespectful self-defense.
Okay. So imagine you work in an environment, and as soon as you report to work in the morning, the next thing is clique and clusters gossiping. They will gossip you as well, and you go back and be crying that this one said this about me, this one said that everybody's talking against me, but you forgot that it was a seed you planted. But now that it's your turn, you're considering it as disrespect. Nobody respects me in this environment. This person said this person. You can be deliberate about creating boundaries that disrespect will not come. Even when it comes, like, because of the boundary you create, the person cannot even come to you and say, oh, you have to give room for the person to disrespect you. The highest you can do when there is even boundaries, you know how you roll eyes at people and then they tell you, that's how my eyes are. I think that's the highest you can do, because there's already a boundary.
May these eyes be that way.
Amen.
One day you twitch it up and it will not close.
They'll tell you for me, I think once there's boundaries, that's the highest that the person can do, because you didn't give room for the person to even communicate disrespect. There are people that can't wait for you and them to exchange words. But like I will say, do not dignify.
It's not necessary. Joyce, it's not necessary. There's no reason whatsoever that people should turn out to be what other people are. On Friday, I was driving. More than half of the journey, I was talking to a sister. She was bitter. She called me. I just got off tears, and I thought the best person to talk to is you. Blah 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 blah. And I said, what? And she started telling me meaningless things. And I said, my sister, tell me what you cried about. She said, that's what I'm telling you. I said, are you serious? Do you realize that I'm driving? Of course, another person called me about almost the same thing, but that one you understand more because it has to do with health. But this one is different. This one said this. This one said that. That what do people want her to do? Where do they want her to go? I say, if you leave Nigeria and go abroad, you have Wasa set. Somebody say Wasa. It's not Wasa. There's nothing like Wasa in English. You have, I'm telling you, you say, are you not the one that has been saying Wasa? It's because we are not, camera is not on you. Mr. Emma, be proud of your wife for saying Wasa. But honestly, Joyce, why would you spend time, like you said, dignifying rubbish? What other people think about you, something that will expire. Not even, the issue will not expire. Their strength to continue will expire. When I was talking to that lady, more than half of my journey, I think her credit finished. I called her. We were talking on WhatsApp. I said, look, it's worthless. It doesn't make any sense. She said, sir, you are saying it because it is you have strength to. I said, look, I have made this decision long ago that nothing will disturb me in life. Will I be worried? Yes, because I want to get things done. But disturbed to the extent that I will lay down on my bed and even say, hey, I'm finished. Not me, madam. Not me. I always have a way of meandering through. The point is this. They have said it. Joyce, whether you like it or not. is out. Whatever you do in this life cannot change what they have said. But is what they said, is it true about you? If it's yes, worry and change. If it's no, why worry?
Move on. Stop worrying and move on.
Stop worrying and move on, because the truth
And keep
is
moving.
you have to keep moving, sir. Because me, I discovered in life early that nothing has to change but me. Nothing has to change but me. What is my business with her character? Imam will go and deal with it at home. What's my this business with your character? Your wife will deal with it. What's my business with your character? Your parents will deal with it. Enjoy single life. They'll come and say, I love you. Say his belt has cut. You didn't pull. There is one shoe on my phone. I'll send it to you.
I thought we
later.
were discussing disrespect.
It's disrespect now. It's disrespect. I'm disrespecting you on the show.
How other people disrespect other people simply because they are wearing brown belt.
How can you say somebody came to toast you, say his shoe is red, his belt is yellow? How is it not a good color combination?
Wow, color blocking.
If he adds green, is that not a flag of a country?
That guy
Very creative
He
man.
must be from somewhere in the north.
He's from Western Hemisphere. So honestly, you see, I am happy when people tell me, sir, is you can handle it that way. That's because I grew up to be that way. What's wrong if you are growing up to do? You see, relying on a knowledge of a grown-up will save you a lot. Relying on the knowledge of a grown-up will save you a lot. I'm not talking about somebody that is 80 years old. No, I'm talking about a 25-year-old that has decided to grow up to be a 60-year-old. Because this thing called age, some people are just counting it year in, year out, bad day in, bad day out. Guy, I'm getting old. No, you are getting useless. There are people that are getting useless every day. Every day. Meanwhile, you see some people are 26. They have made their first 10 million legitimately. When your father at 26 is still struggling with the third wife. I'm telling you, he's thinking, now that I brought her, I'm in trouble. Who asked you to brought her? But of a truth, that is it. People are growing every day. And the devil is wise. The devil knows that if Solo's head is focused on becoming a president, why should we allow him to achieve his goal and come and give God glory at the end?
Okay, let me just bring this, because I
Am
know.
I done with my point? Okay, your face looks like you don't care even if I'm done or not.
You consider later.
Oh wow! Handling disrespect at work. So how do you handle this kind of disrespect on set? Okay, set is not work.
No, I'm the host now. So
Oh, wow.
Officially.
officially,
Deal with it officially.
Don't worry.
this one can be.
Solo, I didn't know that when people become hosts, some people stop being GM. But it's fine.
I'm just discovering today.
It's fine.
Jemima,
Nothing stops, nothing
I don't
changes.
understand. Wow,
Okay.
what?
You know, I've based on my experience at work, I've seen instances where people's disrespect at work was detrimental to the work itself. At work, all of you are a team. Like, especially, let me just use here as an instance, because it's a production house. So imagine in a production, you have some people handling audio, some people behind the camera, presenters, the producers, and then there is an instruction that you all have to be on set an hour to the show. And then everybody noted. And then
exempting me. Who gave the instructions? Tell the person here, I didn't give the instructions throughout this
the
year.
executive producer gave before the executive producer gave the instruction. And then
executive are the executive producers of all our shows. So you are talking to them. They are watching. Don't worry.
the
They are watching.
GM gave instruction. So
And you know they have a executive representative.
on today's life.
Okay.
Okay.
So the person is not good. So
It will shock you.
Okay, so there's an instruction that everybody should be on set an hour to the time, because I was a victim of a team member's failure. So everybody on set except one person. Let me use audio for example now. The production cannot go on because somebody needs to control the sound. And there's no communication. There's nothing coming from that area. Isn't that a disrespect to the instruction that was given? And then how, as a team, how do you handle that? That's the question.
Okay, so you must understand that because you work with some people in one place, they come to work the same time you come to, they close the same time. You must understand they don't care about anything. All they care about is that they have a job. That understanding must be in your head. When you give an instruction, Joyce, some people, because they are not involved, they don't make it work. It's not just here, but you are using here as a metaphor, and people can translate it to whatever it is they do. Even doctors today, they have this attitude. They are dealing with life, and then you show up late for a surgery. Even doctors, I've seen doctors, I've seen people's body parts chopped off because a doctor made a mistake. And what can you do in a country like this? We are sorry, we are kuri. Thank God it's not his life we are talking about now, Seth. You have the right to tell me that. You have the guts, you have the audacity to tell me that. Joyce, there are people that even their life itself, they are not serious about it. Why do you think they will be serious about you and your instruction? You need to understand the people like that exist. They don't care about anything about life. It is even costing them to leave their house and come to work. It's even paining them that when work closes, they have to go back. Because they don't want to do anything. Is it on? I think it's on today's live. I told you how that a girl went to borrow money in the bank.
Yes, today's live.
Eventually, she was always on the couch watching movies, spending money, buying hair, doing all of these things. If you talk about instructions, if you say, Mr. Hassan, I, Solo, Jemima, and the GM are traveling in the morning to Abuja. Please, we need 3 cameras in the car or parked on the back so that we can pick it up, know where it is, and we can pick it up in the morning. We're leaving at 7. But Mr. Hassan will not do it because he's not part of the trip. Haven't you noticed things like that? Yes, people do that a lot. If they go to Abuja, they'll go and stay in one fine hotel now and be ordering food. I'm the one that will park camera for them. But tell him that, Mr. Hassan, the GM is having an interview with the president of Nigeria. And you are going to be handling, it's just 2 camera shoot, but it's only you. That just the other one, set it up, and the other one you keep following. The journey is for 6 a.m. You'll be like, from my area, there is no bike, and I don't want to drive that early. I'll just sleep in the office and wait for you. If you look at I'm not saying Hassan is like that, I'm just giving an example. Before he closes the door and after the show, I can't go out. I'll start saying, please go and call CSO. Go and call CSO. But you see, people are like that naturally. Even at home with your kids. Even at home with your kids.
But should that be tolerated? Because why I said earlier on, I said
Joyce,
I was a victim.
You cannot do anything about it if that is the nature of the person. Except that person is taken out of that company. There's nothing you can do about it.
So
anywhere you go to, it's like that. And you know, in Equa Television, the GM, your GM in Equa Television is accustomed to, and I don't know why he does that. He's accustomed to punishing everybody when one person
I was
fails.
about to say my experience because I remember one time there was an instruction nobody should use
keep your phone before you break it and
her
say
phone. Nobody should use, because we're setting up for a production. I think someone was with phone and everybody had to pay the price as a team. So in that situation, when you have people that repeatedly they are being
Do you
disrespectful.
know the
like
reason for
repeatedly.
such trainings? So that you be your brother's keeper. That is the thing. It's teamwork. This kind, every work you, any kind of job you find yourself doing, except you are alone in that company, doing the security, doing the cooking, doing the signing.
Driving.
You do request,
Maybe-
you approve it, you go to the bank. Except you are. But if you have one more person, one more, not two, just one more, you are a team. That's why I keep telling you guys that there is no I in team. There is we. And I can't tell myself we are coming. No, I can only say I am coming because I am alone. But once you have a second person, you have a third person, you have a fourth person, you have a fifth person, all of you are a team. Now, this is the point. You people don't like reporting people. Why? Because you want to avoid what might come between you and the person that you have reported. Now, that person brought a phone. The instruction was clearly given. Why will you not collectively rebuke that person or report the person at that point? That is the reason for such training. Are you happy that everybody was punished for one man's sin? No, but you are looking at it as one man's sin because I am also looking at it that you are the ones that are wrong. If the person has lost his mind to do otherwise, you that watch, have you lost your mind doing not reporting? That is the point. You see, but when they said this is what is expected of you, there are sometimes that I will call people here. You are traveling and in a group. I am already there. I'll just send a text to somebody. Where are you right now? We are approaching Akwanga. And then I'll just pick up my phone and call a different person. Where are you? We are close to Kefi. I don't know when Akwanga and Kefi became. You are close to Kefi. In the next 1 hour, we should be where you are. And then there are several times. You see, if what is wrong if you tell the truth? Because the situation itself is the truth. What is wrong? Because I need to know if this is exactly where you are and the car has no fault. In my mind, I'm saying these guys are not coming here until 7:30. So I'll start looking for what to do to make the 5 o'clock event work for 7:30.
Okay, and I think additionally, people can.
There were 2 questions you asked.
Okay.
Have they all been answered? No, because people can make.
Okay.
Let it not be like I'm the one that set the instructions and I'm the one that is covering for my instructions.
Okay. I'm also responding to the question. I think additionally, because it has happened to me even where I worked before, that you are involved in certain things that probably was against the policy of the workplace, and then you're called. And then in case you do not know, this is unacceptable, this is unethical, so you don't do this again. There were times that in some instances you are being punished, like salary deduction, or there are different means of, for some people that's the means of cautioning. In other cases, maybe you're unaware and then you're called. Why is it that repeatedly you're doing this? And then probably you find out that there are other reasons, and then maybe the person needs help in that instance. Maybe every day you show up for your show and then you're lost. Every day you show up, you're lost. What exactly is the problem? There are times that you just decide to punish the person without hearing from the person, and there are instances that you're just like, okay, repeatedly you've been doing this. What exactly? And then maybe eventually you find out that this person is depressed or this person is going through this, and best way you can as colleague, as a superior, you can advise the person, and eventually that person maybe do away with that attitude. And there are some people that will be like, okay, actually I didn't even want to be here. It's not something I wanted to do. Maybe I was forced by parents, or I was forced to just do this, but honestly my mind is not here. And apologies that I've been doing this, but I think I cannot continue this. Maybe you can encourage the person, because I had a woman talk about her business and how that out of pity she kept this lady that made her lost about 300,000. And she tried to hear from the girl. Unfortunately, the girl spent the money herself, and people were advising, just sack this lady, just take her away from your business, if not it will crash and all, because she stole the money. And she said this girl stays with her grandmother and is from this work that they feed. If I send her away, like what becomes of them? So she decided to talk and caution this lady, and she allowed her. But in less than 2 weeks, around 200,000 was missing. And so for her, she was being nice, but it was at the detriment of her business, of her company. So sometimes some of this attitude, disrespectful attitude, because is you going against, disregarding an instruction, or disregarding like what is expected of you. That's disrespect. So sometimes if some of these things are not addressed, if they are just allowed to go, it might be detrimental to the organization. Like, think about it, that someone that handles the finances of the organization, every day you're embezzling. At the end of the day, you won't even have capital to sustain the business, because that person has just made the whole thing or the whole organization crumble by squandering the whole money. So for me, I think there are instances that such things should be addressed. And in an instance where you are always feeling disrespectful or being disrespected at workplace, check yourself. Why is it that consistently people disrespect me? Because the same environment where you work, there are people that are not being disrespected. So why? That means if there's something, because I know that there's no reason whatsoever for anybody to be disrespectful or to wear that garment of disrespect. You don't have, even if the person gives you the reason to. I always tell people that sometimes I say, I respect this person, I respect this person. It's not that the person have not done things that you hear things that the person has done, you see in some cases, but it doesn't guarantee, for me, based on my upbringing, to disrespect. Like, I cannot face you, whether before you or behind you, and disrespect you. That's personal, based on my upbringing. Whoever is ahead of you, like my mom will always say, is ahead of you. You don't have any reason whatsoever. Like, I am from a home where no matter what you go back home with that has been done to you, you will never get a backup. Oh, go insult, do this. You will never get that. Instead, my mom will say it's everywhere. So just find a way to grow through it. Just find a way to disregard it. No matter how you complain that this person.
Joyce, what has Jesus ever done to people that is not right? He saw the highest form of disrespect. What are you, mortal man? A mere man. Why do we always feel that people must accord us the same respect that is in our mind? People must see, as GM, I've been to churches. Service will start and finish. Nobody will even greet you in church. Will I die? I will be. So there was a day I thought, I said, maybe this guy didn't even see me. After service, he sent somebody, said he saw the GM in the congregation and they should come and call me to come to his office. I came and it happens. Normally I would say, did they know I'm from headquarters? Did they know? There are people that will say, look, nobody parks his car inside. Go and park there. They will even greet you, good morning, GM. They will say, nobody, we don't allow cars here. You park there and walk back to church. What will you do? You say that is disrespectful. No, it's not disrespect, sir. It's policy. And at the end, they will guard your car there. At the end, you drive your car and go home. If it's a governor's place you went to and they say you can't enter with your car, won't you park even if it's 1 kilometer and walk? We have some comments. I think we should just take that. The first one says apt, needed topic. The second one says, that second one is an owl. God bless you in Jesus' name. Send my regards to Radio. I mean, I'm sure you wanted to say Radio Elwa Leaders Hausa section. I'm from Kano, DCC. Sunday David, I believe setting your mind to always be at your best would settle a whole lot. Yeah, this is great. If not, of all the problems that pertain to disrespect at work, then we have Luke Austin said disrespect. I think most times is a product of the recipient's character and attitude towards others. Sometimes we disrespectful. I'm sure you wanted to say disrespectfully. Sometimes we disrespectfully treat others, but we expect respect from the same people. I think respect is a mirror. What you present to the mirror is what you get from the mirror. Don't expect to apply a whole bowl of powder on your face to expect a beautiful person before the mirror. In a nutshell, it is garbage in, garbage out thing. Gabriel Omaji, true. Philip Sariel, PS, great, watching from Buildery. Oh, amazing. One link, Kaka.
Watching from Billy.
Wow, Kajiari, very sweet. One link, Kaka. How do you say, brother, how are you in your language?
No, I won't try it.
It's not sweet, but it doesn't sound sweet. How do you say, brother, how are you in your language?
Is that a guy?
Easy.
Huh?
Look how cute it sounds.
Anything? What did you say? You said anything?
Easy.
Please don't ever speak that language.
You wish.
That's a indigene.
So honestly, disrespect comes whether you are respectful or you are not. Whether people like you or they don't. There is no president we have had in this country that has not been disrespected. None. The best thing is to disregard what people are saying. I heard that, I don't know how true it is, that the president of Nigeria wants to put, I think, like a punishment to whoever says rubbish about him on social media. I read it. I don't know how true, but I saw it online. Mr. President, if you are watching, it's not necessary. You are already the president of this country. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Go ahead and be the president. Your policies, your everything, a lot of people are enjoying it. It's just a few. And you understand propaganda. You are being governor, you are being senator. These things are not without, it's a complete package, you know. So, yes, being a leader, people will throw garbage at you, but just focus on what you are doing and pay no mind to all these people. Yes.
And disrespect should not stop you from doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yes, whether you do the right thing or not, people will still disrespect
Absolutely.
you. So when they do, just keep sticking to doing
Absolutely.
what is right.
I think perfect example is the one he mentioned about Jesus Christ. Look at, him coming, living that glorious life, coming to just come and die. And look at the process, people even gambling.
They spat
on his
on
garment, spat on him, that crown of, all sort of things. Just that to provoke his anger so that he will
changed
say
his mind.
He's not going to die.
Let them know.
The example you gave, concerning the devil, trying to make someone not reach that goal that he will give glory to God and said, this thing that you are saying is Jesus that is the reason, is God that's the reason. So he tried during the process to make sure that he makes you feel bad. He bring out that, do you know my color? So just try your possible best to know that you are dealing with somebody that is crafty, just trying day and night, not allowing you to reach the goal. What is the goal? Is to do the Father's will. The Father's will tells us that disrespect is a sin. So nobody should say this is the reason why I'm sinning.
Even if you are given a reason.
Even if you are given a reason.
Well, disrespect is everywhere. And one of the ways to handle disrespect is for you to acknowledge that it exists and it's everywhere and you cannot stop it. You need to have that understanding. And when you have that understanding, you will know that even at the workplace, people will be disrespectful. People will insult you. People will call you name. People will ignore you. People will not appreciate you. So do not be unaware of all of that. When it comes, just look up high. Keep being focused. Let your mind be geared towards achieving results and doing what is needful. Do not allow anybody reduce you to their level by responding to them or dignifying their disrespectful attitude or character. Just keep being you, keep striving, and of course you'll see the best of you coming out. So I trust that you've learned a lot, and instead of you throwing the towel, instead of you quitting, instead of you allowing someone else's disrespectful attitude affects you mentally or even poison you, your mind or your attitude, you will learn to remain focused and just understand that that is who they are, and you will just keep being focused. Thank you for doing this with us. We really appreciate the Equa executive for this platform. Thank you, Equa television supporters. To all our viewers, we really appreciate. Thank you for your comments and your messages. We do hope that this was really impactful. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time. Stay blessed.